What's up everyone, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a beginner Afro house track in FL Studio. And in this video I'm going to use the amazing plugin Arcade from Output. So if you want to use Arcade, make sure to check out the link in the description and you will get a 50% discount on your first paid month. So enjoy everyone. So because this is a beginner tutorial, I'm going to show you how I've created all the layers and what is necessary to create a clean and amazing sounding layer. And by layer, I mean all the individual elements which I've used to create this track. So I'm going to make sure for all the beginners, they're going to get along with the video. So the first element and one of the most essential elements for creating an Afro house track is adding a shaker loop to add some texture and already define the percussion and the groove for the track. So we're now open up Arcade. So this is Arcade, and Arcade is a plugin, it's a sampler or a synth. So there are many possibilities when it comes to using this plugin. And that's why it's so amazing. So I'm just going to take you through some of the options for this plugin. So I'm going to select search, and then I'm, for example, looking for Afrobeat. So this is the search term which I've used, and then 35 samplers will pop up. So in this case, I just picked the first one. So play sampler, simply select this one right here, and then the sampler is opened up. So we can already use this one, for example. For example, this one to add some texture. Another shaker. So as you can hear, this one contains some amazing layers which we can use in our track. Right now, just play the sounds on the keyboard. So I'm gonna pick this one, and I'm gonna pick this one. So we can basically layer those two. So right now I'm using the keyboard. So right now I'm gonna draw it into FL Studio. So right now I've selected the jungle rhythms. I'm going to open up the piano roll. So right now I draw in C and B. So let's have a listen when we play them together. So this is a perfect foundation for creating our Afro house track. So that's the first layer which I'm using from Arcade. But you can also easily tweak those layers by selecting options right here. So pressing the three dots and then select edit. So right here, the sound wave is coming up. And we could easily, for example, adjust the volume, adjust the panning, adjust the attack, release, crossfade. You can play around with the tune of the sample to, for example, in this case, is a shaker. You want to make sure it sounds a little bit more muffled, so it's reducing some of the high frequencies. You can do this, for example, by adjusting the tune, but also using a filter. So enable this filter right here and play around with this cutoff frequency. So that's a way how to tweak the sound very easily. So Arcade comes with a lot of possibilities. So we could modify, edit. We could use the mixer to add some effects. So in this case, maybe I want to add some reverb, for example. So we select reverb right here, and then we adjust the dry wet knob. So I want to add just some ambience to the sound. So we can easily tweak the sound. So next up, modulation. So in this case, I don't want to add any modulation. So you could also add some macros which are linked to the room, delay, tone, for example. Again, unlimited possibilities. And we could adjust the speed. But in this case, it's already fine. And you could also adjust this one by, for example, adjusting the spread, room, delay, or tone very easily right here. And then we add a simple kick sample, just a simple 4x4 layer. And then I already want to add the next layer. So right now we're going to define the main rhythm for our Afro house track by using a clap. So right now open up Arcade. We're going to select the search button right here. And I'm going to select samplers again. I'm searching for a clap. And then 183 samplers will pop up. And I'm selecting this one. Looks cool. Play sampler. And then I'm again looking for a sound. So right here we got the right one. But there is a delay before the clap is coming. So we want to select edit. And right now we're going to adjust so I'm going to adjust this one right here. So this flag or something which looked like a flag. And right now the sound is playing when I press the keyboard directly. So then maybe I want to add some effects. So for example, let's add some distortion. So now I'm adding some distortion. So that's it. So I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm adding just a little bit of Hall effect, so some reverb. And it's playing this rhythm on E. So it sounds amazing and already sounds very organic. So I think this layer is a perfect fit. So now I'm going to speed up the tutorial just a little bit. So next up, we're adding another sound, which is following this rhythm. And we add another knocky percussion using Sunset Charm. So again, I'm using the effect, so I'm using some space to add some reverb. Then I'm going to use some more layers from Arcade, which I've exported and tweaked again, and those layers sound amazing. So those layers are playing in the main part of the track. I really like this one, the groove is amazing and it sounds so clean and it's just so easy to use in your project. Then I'm using this roll which needed a lot of processing, so that's how I normally apply those layers in the track. And then I'm using another white tom, also from Arcade, which is playing this rhythm. So as you can hear, the drums already come together. They don't need any mixing. They just sound good from the get-go. So next up, we're going to add a piano melody. So I've used Arcade and used this classic Grand, which is a piano built into Arcade. So I didn't make any changes and it already sounds good. And I'm playing this chord progression. Very powerful chord progression, and I think it goes perfect together with the drums. I strummized this chord progression just a little bit to make it sound more humanic, and that's it. I kept it very, very simple. So next up, I've added a simple plucky layer. So I've used this automated filter plug from Serum, and this one sounds like this. I think it goes perfect together with the drums, especially with the clap. So next up, we're adding a bass line. So now I'm gonna add a bass. So I'm searching for bass and then select instruments. And then I'm just picking the first one. So the Valence Reese. So play instrument. And then we could easily make some tweaks. So in this case, I want to remove some of the high frequencies. So we press layer edit and then play around right here, because I don't want to add too much high frequencies to the bass line. And then of course, we're gonna add some drive. So close this one, and we're gonna adjust it until we like it. So right now, let me show you the bass line. And this bass line is following the root note from the chord progression. I was still keeping it very, very simple. So as you can see, those are basically the same notes which I've used for the bass line. So don't try to create something new, just reuse the notes from your chord progressions. So this is basically the first note from your chord. So this one in this case. So right now I'm adding the main melody for this track. So I'm also using Serum in this case, and I tried to switch it up. So I've created this melody. And I think this goes perfect together with the high quality drums and with the sequence which we've added, which plays the exact same rhythm all the time. So I think it sounds very groovy. And then I'm switching it up, so I'm playing it just on one note. And I'm making sure I'm playing around with a cutoff filter to make it sound a little bit more organic and preventing it sounds sequenced and it sounds too flat. So next up, we're adding another layer. So this is basically a piano counter melody. So this is the chord. I think this is a great addition to the chord progression. So then I'm adding a simple transitioning effect. I think this one fits perfectly. So I'm keeping it, again, very, very simple. And then we're adding the main vocal. So for now, I've showed you all the elements which I've used. So right now, let's listen to the final result. So I'm still very satisfied with the drums. I think they sound very high quality. And just one of the few possibilities from Arcade, so the piano melody is coming in. I've used this filter right here, so I'm creating a build up. I also did the same for the pluck, so played around with the filter cutoff. Amazing groove. Keeping it very simple, no uplifters, nothing. Amazing groove. Switching it up, another loop. Switching up the vocal, creating kind of a bridge part. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. So make sure to check out Arcade. I really like this plugin. It's just a high quality plugin and it's just more than just a sample library. But I really like to use the samples in this case because I think it's a great fit for a track like this. So with all this being said, I hope you have a great day. I hope you create some awesome music and see you next week.